I.S.U.P.K, one West, you know not the light. Fuck the other side, we don't fuck with you kind. If cop get the order and we gon' take one. Okay, don't forget it. One West, I'm living, yeah. This for all my niggas, brothers and sisters, yeah. Living unstoppable, cause you know the Lord is with you, yeah. Breaking down scripture, that's the only motherfucking mission, yeah. I.S.U.P.K, don't forget it. One West, I'm living, yeah. This for all my niggas, brothers and sisters, yeah. Living unstoppable, cause you know the Lord is with you, yeah. Breaking down scripture, that's the only motherfucking mission, yeah.
You don't have to be robbing and killing in the ghetto, living in filth and squalor. This don't have to be our life. This life is given to us by the low-life niggas you call black leaders.
One West, U.P.K, 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 U.P.K. One West, motherfucking U.P.K, 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 U.P.K. Warfare every motherfucking day. U.P.K, 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 U.P.K. One West, motherfucking U.P.K, 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 U.P.K. Warfare every motherfucking day. I don't fuck with the never been on a date where these niggas so gay. I don't eat fruit cake, all I eat is steak. Chicken and grapes, feel like an egg, don't need no weights. U.K. bitch at the bar, hey, get in bitch wetter than a lake. Hey, fuck with my eye, catch a case. I'll break a bitch nigga face. Hey, one West the only way. Hey, all eyes on U.P.K. Hey, take down, hey, fuck what they say. Now we don't play. Chopper my spray, beat him with the blade. Now the nigga on the fucking page. See sideways, hey, we know gon' drop like this. Like one bad bitch, we hot like this. Like U.P.K, hit the fucking block like this. Like that's what the Lord can't stop this shit. Those ain't no bitch up in sight. All my niggas prepared to die. World War III, word on fire. Waiting on the Lord to crack the sky. In them chairs swing that. I'm nothing but them U.P.K. sad on West.
U.P.K, 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 U.P.K. One West, motherfucking U.P.K, 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 U.P.K. Warfare every motherfucking day. U.P.K, 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 U.P.K. One West, motherfucking U.P.K, 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 U.P.K. Warfare every motherfucking day. I'm gonna set your shit off, I'm a black man. Slap deep, better get my foot the back end. You better hope that I don't get orders from captains. To take ground, bitch, I'm ready for action. You already know what I got to say. If you ain't U.P.K, bitch, you in the goddamn way. I was born in a letter field, at a battlefield. I'll be ready for this war shit every day. World War III, would you hurry up, please? So I can put my enemies on their knees and make them beg me, but no mercy from me. You didn't get love to the birds and the bees and the trees. So what the fuck do you mean? The only way we can have peace is to hear you scream. Priests and the prophets and the kings. The stories of the book of the black God at the time I lived the sweet dream. I think I was shot, the king of all kings, ruler of all things. Hell is what we bring. Destruction of Babylon, destroying everything. We're towards the beams on a whole nother level you ain't ever seen. Woman, U.P.K team, 144, you know what I mean. One West, nigga.
West, U.P.K,
So-called Christian pastors and deacons, that's why your churches is failing. Because you've been lying. All Israelites bringing out the truth. That's all. Read that again. Yeah. What a agreement. Hey, the temple of God with idols. What agreement is there in the temple of the Bible?
One West, motherfucking U.P.K, U.P.K.
What agreement is a Bible in the temple got to do with a damn Christmas tree?
Every motherfucking day.
Where's that agreement at? How do they even make sense to go together? That's right. But we follow a custom like it's a God-given high holy day.
it to be revealed that black people.
I don't want a motherfucking truth, never lose. Everyone west, nigga, I don't know you. Got this shit, nigga, come to the school. Bitch ass nigga better move. Got a fucking job to do. Tryna raise up all the Jews, all the tribes. This was the truth for life. True fat nigga never lie. Stop. When you see the misses in the sky, one well ISUPK for the other side. I'll set the church on fire. Align to the children of God. Bitch ass nigga, you proud. How you on a check right now? Till you get a check right now. How you having sex with your wives? You can't fuck with your kind. Bitch ass nigga take crime. Home with the motherfucking truth. Home with the motherfucking truth. Home with the motherfucking truth. UPK 1 West. Home with the motherfucking truth. 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 UPK 1 West. Home with the motherfucking truth.
All our children gonna end up to be young, feminine faggots that don't care about the murder of their own people. This black man just said, show me that sign. Hey, no, you let me the sign. Let me the sign. I gotta say, yo, this brother right here just said
These niggas fake, these niggas gay, not in the UPK. Go red like every day. Time to start chopping your face, don't play. World War III, that UPK day. I don't give a fuck if you hate. Hit him with the blade. One West bitch till I'm dead. Wine and bread, what's off of my head? UPK bitch, we don't talk to the fed. All black, no purple. Fake ass nigga be looking like turtles. IUIC ain't fucking with the pre-pop 15 king. My niggas mean, riding straight beats. UPK made me. Now I'm waiting on Hebrew Academy. Don't come back. Home with the motherfucking truth. Home with the motherfucking truth. Home with the motherfucking truth. UPK 1 West. Home with the motherfucking truth. 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 UPK 1 West. Home with the motherfucking truth.
The flame, from the power of the flame of the Lord, man, no missiles, no nuclear destruction. You can't outrun no nuclear missile, white man. You can't outrun no nuclear missile. All you can do is burn.
Home with the motherfucking truth. Home with the motherfucking truth. Home with the motherfucking truth. UPK 1 West. Home with the motherfucking truth. 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 UPK 1 West. Home with the motherfucking truth.
Yay-Z, you know the chop. I.S.U.P.K. Badness no sir. Let me tell you how the badness steer. Dopey bad fly when the clock display. Tell a boy say no try box this face. Back switch face. You know how your blood clot casket stay boy. You must see one Baptist prayer. When the map stick raise that big straight. Shot misplaced. The key them in your head stop misbehave. Crack his face. The key never tell us we lock this place. Which locksmith anyway watch this space. War with them bunny like plastic plate. Hey, we don't play around. When you see the UPK around, we bring the fucking AK around. AR-15s and AR rounds. We don't play around. When you see the UPK around, we bring the fucking AK around. AR-15s and AR rounds. We not take drape up. We not take beat up, we not stay so. And when the next day come, we not change up. My heart, them brothers, them wake up. AK bus boy, head top shake up. So tell a pussy world don't violate us. No care where you status, where you take up. Every man a killer till me for dead face you straight up. Great stuff, one West link bigger than NATO. Man we bust it to NATO. Only man we afraid that are the creator, the maker. Hey, we don't play around. When you see the UPK around, we bring the fucking AK around. AR-15s and AR rounds. We don't play around. When you see the UPK around, we bring the fucking AK around. AR-15 and AR rounds. AR-15s and AR rounds. AR-15s and let me tell you how the badness steer. Dopey bad fly when the clock display. Tell a boy say no try box this face. Back switch face. You know how your blood clot just get steer, boy. You must see one Baptist prayer. When the map stick raise that lick straight. Shot misplaced. The teeth them in your head stop misbehave. Scratch his face. The key never tell us so we lock this place. Which locksmith anyway watch this space. War red them bunny like plastic plate. We don't play around. When you see the UPK around, we bring the fucking AK around. AR-15s and AR rounds.
I.S.U.P.K. 53rd Annual Lord Passover.
53rd Annual Lord's Passover is going to be held down here in Florida.
It's going down.
You're here tonight to get a chance to be righteous enough to be worthy of God coming to save you and your
That's right.
It's going down. The Lord's 53rd Annual Passover.
When we say we no cowards, we stop that business. We no cowards up in here.
Book your hotels now at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites. The IHG Hotel, 301 Tucker Lane, Cocoa Beach, Florida, 32926.
It's a lot of men down. You dealing with the men of war. We at war. I'm siding with the Lord of Lords. On one and two. We ain't never stopping.
Counter all your dishes, pots, and sports knives.
I kind of like this. This is like an apartment and a hotel. You know what I mean?
This here, right here, is about to be holy ground. It's going to be holy ground. All our beautiful, wonderful brothers and sisters from all over the world. You understand? We can boast that now. Brothers and sisters coming not only from every state, but from all over the world. I heard the numbers this year is ridiculous. We had to buy out the whole hotel.
Friday, April 15th at the Space Coast Convention Center.
My camp undefeated. You cannot debate. You just want the clout. We just want the grades. I'm just trying to get it.
This is going to be glorious.
We don't give a fuck. You can see it in our faces. Got it out the mud. Straight up out the base.
Shalom, Hebrew. This is the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, started at 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. And is run today by Commanding General YAHANNA, the man with the rank and the authority to be the ruler, the leader of the nation of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans at this time. I want to say Yahweh Basham, Yahweh Shai Barakatam to the brothers. Yahweh Shamar, Basham, Yahweh Shai to the sisters. Yahweh Shamar, Latan Basham, Yahweh Shai to the sisters. Welcome to our Sunday afternoon scripture breakdown class. All right, this is now what we're talking about. We're talking about to call it again. We're looking at Jamaican situation again. Have to con. The Americas, 80, North America, South America, Canada, 80, wherever you go, Cuba, anywhere. And our oppressors keep us oppressed by giving us pagan holidays. Now we have one that is coming up called, call him again, Easter.
Good.
They call it Easter, coming from Ishtar, coming Statue of Liberty, coming from what do they call it in Europe, under pagan rule in Europe. I think it was the religion that they call with the goddess Sophia, I think. Same female goddess.
Good.
In Egypt, they used to say, where was Mart? A Mart of the Wing?
Yeah, sir. I don't know that one day.
Yeah, man, I think a Mart of the Wing. When we used to go to school, remember the exercise book? You used to have one winged eagle, something like one. A picture of one, it was shaped like one eagle with many, but the eagle wing come out long out, so just like the wings of Mart. It since we become adult, we know that it's a pagan goddess. They add our exercise book, a pagan god, giving us to go to school. But this is how our warfare is being fought today as Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. It's not all right. The war that is going on in Ukraine right now, that's clear cut. Russia bombing Israel. Sorry.
Ukraine.
Russia bombing Ukraine.
Good.
Yeah, I wonder if that's the way it's gonna be. Russia bombing Ukraine. You can see that. But who is waging war against Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans at this time? It's not as clear cut because there is a spiritual way in which the war is being fought, in that our oppressor understands what would make us win a war against them and what would keep us in bondage against them.
Good.
All right. Yeah, man. Yeah, that's how a white man write the Bible. Trust me, the white man really read the Bible and practice it against us. In other words, what they do, the Bible tells us why the Most High punish us. So all they do is to keep giving us more of the things that would cause God to punish us.
Right.
And some of that thing is the pagan holidays, the foods that we eat. Right? Right. So this economic war that is being waged in Jamaica against the poor, it's against all blacks, really, you know. There's an economic war being waged against us, which, like I say, it's not clear cut in that our people can see that, you know, it's an economic war, because you don't hear the bombs dropping like when you hear they drop in Ukraine.
Good.
But it's been waged. And there are things that you look back at in the past which shows us that Yeah, there is a war being waged against us. From the time of slavery. Slavery was an economic war against us. Right? But they gave us Easter from way back when, from the pagan reign of Europe. When they celebrate Ishtar right about this time. Take me to Acts 12:4.
Right. Another one gun.
So you wonder if your oppressor understands how to keep you oppressed, then they are going to keep you oppressed. All right, verse 4.
Salakia 10:4.
12:4.
Okay, gun. Another one gun. This is the book of Acts, chapter 12, verse 4. And when he had apprehended him, he put him in prison and delivered him to 4 quaternions of soldiers to keep him, intending after Easter to bring him forth to the people.
Now, this story here describes who in captivity.
God.
Who was it in captivity?
The children of Israel.
Peter.
Okay, God.
It was Peter in particular in Jerusalem.
God.
Who was in Jerusalem? The Roman soldiers.
God.
Not the mighty Roman army at the time, but some Romans who was seconded to Jerusalem to help run Jerusalem from the time of when we had made a league with them from the time of the Maccabees. From the time when the Maccabees coming all the way down to when Christ born. That's when we invited them in our space. And what did they do? They take over this space. So right here now, what is being described is Peter being under their being prisoner to them, the Romans. But look at what period of time he was in prison, in Easter. Right? I mean, when you read this in the Bible, it just brush over it, intending after Easter to bring forth to the people. It's really the Passover. So this is one of the mistakes that we were able to pick up in the scriptures, because Easter, what would have been celebrated was Easter and not, will be the Passover and not Easter.
Right.
But when Rome was printing it, England, when England was doing the translation, Easter was what they were celebrating. So they put Easter.
God.
Now, the Romans were down there as well. So, but it wasn't called Easter then. So we know it's not Easter, because back then it was Queen of Heaven. And it was celebrated at the same period of time, during spring, where they come up with a goddess and say, fertility time. So they give you Ishtar. You go back to all the ancient societies, there is a pagan god for fertility. For this period of time when you would get the crops begin to grow again. This was a very important time in Esau's world, because Esau was a nation. Esau's people were a nation of people who live in ice country, right? It's not like Jamaica where we can plant crops right throughout the year, right?
Right.
In Esau's world, he plants crop springtime. spring coming right after Easter. After winter.
Winter, gone.
Right. So he plants crop right at springtime. And right at springtime, now we set up a little thing, a goddess for fertility. Why they use a goddess rather than a male is because the woman bring forth child. But more so in that when they plant a crop and it doesn't come, they don't get a good crop before it comes back to winter, they are in trouble. Right? Because they have to wait till after winter again to plant. Which is where we in Jamaica now, we plant a crop and it doesn't come when it should come. We just plant it again. You just get it out the field and you can plant it again.
Good.
Because we don't have that climate restriction. But Esau does. I have other nations who used to live in the cold. Egypt used to do it, but Egypt never did have snow. But Egypt was, because of power now, they had to be able to feed. Just like America, any country who aspire to rule the world, in it, have to be able to feed the countries that you have under subjection. And one such way of doing it is fertility. But we know in the Israelite world, we look to the Most High Creator for our crops to grow. He tells you that he's the one who opened the heavens for our crops to grow. So this Easter thing imposed on us because our oppressor knows that these pagan gods is what keep us in captivity. All right, if you go to Deuteronomy 28:1, you will understand what I'm saying.
Salakia, read.
You find it?
Gotcha.
All right, Deuteronomy 28:1.
Another one can. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee an eye above all nations of the earth.
So the oppressor read the scriptures and they see this part and say, oh, so that's why they were ruling this earth for, because we rule this earth for long periods of time. So they study our history and see that, oh, that's why they were ruling this earth. As a matter of fact, from the time of Judith, they get a hold of, they get an understanding of what makes us tick, what makes Israel Israel, right? This same thing. If we keep the commandments, then we will be over them. All right, drop down to
15. 15.
Can.
Another one can. Verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
Right. So if we don't keep the commandment, then what takes us is not blessing, but curses.
Gone.
Something that makes people say, Lord, they obey me.
Gone.
Lord, and this, Lord, and that. But these curses is not just spiritual, you know. It is more physical than it is spiritual. Because we have the other nations who are physically oppressing us.
Right.
Which in a way, if they weren't physically oppressing us, we would still have it hard, you know, but it wouldn't be this hard.
Good.
Right? We in Jamaica, we experience a thing where the government actually opened the floodgate with the Chinese to come in to our space to do business.
God.
That is not spiritual. That's not spiritual, you know. That is physical.
Gone.
Yeah. But how we get them out, that is spiritual.
Right.
So we have to be in the spirit in order, the right spirit in order to get them out. All right. Where are that one? 15, give me 16.
Another one, Gun, verse 16. Cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in the field.
Right. So in the city, you are the flat-foot hustler. In the field, you are the one who plant the crop and it don't come.
Right.
And when it come, when you look, you say, yeah, the herd of goat is coming. My herd of goats looking lovely. Guess what? Guess who see that your herd of goats looking lovely too? Who else see that? Yes, sis.
Like I said, the thief.
Thank you. The thief also see that your herd of goats are coming too. And also, when your crops are coming in lovely, the period that last into the same thief sees that it's coming lovely too. But who don't gives a rat's ass what happened to you? Your oppressor.
God.
Because with all these things that are happening, you have a struggle against nature, you know, and against your own people. And to compound your problem, he imports people into your space to give you more problem. And then they talk about our crime rate going up. They knew it was going up. It's going to go up. From the time they signed those deals in the time of Portia Simpson Miller, they knew that crime rate would go up.
Right.
Right? So it's not, they're not, they only behave surprising the public. But they knew it was going to go. All right. Now, so those Chinese being imported in our space give us, it does increase economic stress on our people. All right, let me see. There's a video I would like to play. Is a video or article talking about the Chinese today. Oh yeah, this is one about this man here. I don't know if he's they like him as a Jamaican Chinese. It look like one of those men who is a cross between the Chinese and the Israelite. Maybe his mother was an Israelite, maybe his father was an Israelite. Whichever case, they always take onto the other nation that they are mixed with.
Right.
Let me try and find it on this and share it. Share. This one.
Jamaica has had Chinese in our blood since the 1800s, post-slavery. But has US fear of Chinese competition been shaping a funny Jamaican cynicism for our new Chinese immigrants? This is Wake Up and Live with Bob. The Jamaican government has all but begged
all right, so he's mentioning that Jamaicans we have had the Chinese in our space from the time of the abolition of slavery in the 18-something, right? Now, these Chinese were deliberately imported in our space because they now need workers that they are going to pay. prior to slavery, you know, we were the ones doing all those work, you know. Sorry, prior to them bringing in the Chinese, it was black liberty for free. But now they have to pay. Oh, we need some other races because they don't want to pay you.
Gone.
A foreign investor was to invest in Jamaica, but they all seem to cut their eyes as the government asked them or requested of them to pay Jamaican workers a basic minimum wage. So why then are Jamaicans so unsettled about the new Chinese class of investors? From childhood, I've never seen a Chinese business fail. That's not to say that they've never failed, but I see them as a...
All right, here and put it. From childhood, I've never seen a Jamaican, a Chinese business fail.
God.
That's not true. You know what the Chinese are used to do when their business fail? Suicide.
Okay.
The Chinese used to commit lots of suicide here in Jamaica. You hear the older folks talk about it. The older folks who can remember, you hear them talk about the Chinaman. When time if in business collapse, all you do is shut the business door, go inside, he had to hang himself. If he have a gun, you hear boy, and that's it.
Okay, good.
Many Chinese used to execute themselves in Jamaica. You know what caused them to, you know, sort of stop doing that? All right, they have a society named the Chinese Benevolent Society, which they start to be more benevolent and helpful to their people after a period of time. Because most time when they when they kill themselves is because they run out of money. So they find ways to give them money so that they don't kill themselves.
God.
Now, if we did stay so, you wouldn't have any, you would have any black people in Jamaica.
God.
If blacks were like them. Right?
God.
But we are not.
People have always baked our patties, baked our cocoa bread, baked our hardo bread, sliced our cheese, bake our buns, and they are the ones whose mini marts have now turned into super mega marts. That is a business track record that has served Jamaica well for...
All right, well said. The Chinese mini mart has become the what?
The super mart.
The super mega mart.
Mm-hmm.
So the Chinese man who did have the corner shop and then the mini mart, and them own the big supermarket now.
God.
However, the black man who did own the corner shop, who was supposed to now come own mini marts, and some who have the money who can now own the bigger supermarket. What did the government do? They bring in more Chinese to wipe you out in that space. These Chinese come with incentives from their Chinese government, where you have the Chinese, what do they call it again? The Chinese, what the Chinese bank, the name again? The Chinese Exim Bank. I understand, lend to them.
Good.
Right? Plus, they lend to each other too, but more so, they have their banks that lend to them. That is why they are able to come out here with some amount of money. And when you go amongst them and you listen to them and you watch how they move and things, you realize where they're coming from, they're not used to wealth. So they are not coming out here with money that they so much work for back in China.
Right.
They come out here with loan. Right?
Right.
All they require to repay that loan is the discipline. Right? And many of them comply with the discipline and manage to repay their loan, because the loans that they come out here with is not no high interest loan like they would give to us. Right? They feed us to the loan sharks. And our government know this, you know, but they allow these things to happen. So these Chinese who were able to move up the ladder, since as they brought them in Jamaica to be over us, they they were at one point, the Chinese man is the man who had this shop in the ghetto. In take time move out of that. The black man would come in now and full it up. What they did, they bring in more Chinese. Right in the time of Portia Simpson Miller, they bring in more Chinese to fill that little retail space that the black man was supposed to grow into. So you don't have this space now to grow into that retail space and that level of business that you would move up into. So what happened? Crime must increase.
Right.
It must increase. And not only did they prevent our people from growing business-wise into this space, what they would try to do is to relegate us to that little market cubicle and bend down plaza space, you know, and flatfoot hustling. That is what the black man forgot about. Right. So if you're going to relegate us to that, they ain't trying to renegade the Chinese to the mini mart, man. Like him stay in a corner shop and mini mart.
Right.
But he's able to grow into other things while we must stay stagnant. And our government seems to be comfortable with this because they have taken on the role of the oppressor that was here before.
Right.
That is how we know that when they talk about reparation, they are just selling us a gyo. They're not interested in getting no reparation, no billions of dollars for us.
Right.
You tell me now, you going to go and look billions of dollars for us when you are supposed to allow us to grow into a little $2 million space and you squeeze that space? The reggae music that is supposed to, the little reggae music where you used to allow a little get a promoter to run a little dance and can subsidize in work. A lot of these promoters, they work, you know, when, you know how much promoters know, but in the time when, you know, dance was like every weekend in the communities,
yeah,
the men and women who were able to do promotion, there was many times it was working people.
Yeah, working people them can.
They have their little job and they use the little dance opportunity here to subsidize the salary, right? That little money, you know, I managed to help them to tile out the house, right? To build up one room. That now one dance I allow them to build up the one room. They will keep on 2-3 dance before they can build up one room. I mean, well, when I say build up one room, I mean block it up.
Yeah.
Not finish it, block it up. Now they cut that bread. They cut the little bread for the man who used to sell at the school gate, who used to able if you can feed him school in picnic. And you give that money that the schools are now enriched from, and them little money they would have spread back in the community that the school belongs, you know. So you kill that vibe. You kill that monetary vibe that's supposed to come in the communities. Right? You kill the little hustling that the dance would make. Because when the promoter spend fee money and get a sound and get a venue and print him flyers, get him lick up on consignment and keep it dancing, you know. And he want benefit, you know. Benefit. The little cane man benefit out the road. The jerk man benefit. Right? Soupy benefit.
Yeah.
If they're near yeah, if they're near a place like in one of the town areas where the fast food them not locked till 11. Like on a weekend, you have the fast food. Some of them might close 1 o'clock in the night. Then benefit too. Right? But you go now and you shut down that and you talk about all because you're trying to please your boss. Who's telling you, say now you forget the people them to accept homosexuality.
Right.
You want get people to accept homosexuality. Guess what? You know, so the people who vote for them love them. So they're not gonna muggle with them man in front of people who love them, man.
Yeah.
The people that might start loving that lifestyle too. You don't need to shut down the people them economic activity.
Right.
Are we a Russia? Are we invade Ukraine? Want to set up an economic war on us?
So lucky, yeah. What him name? This brother, yeah. Called Samuda. Say the gunman them come like Putin. So maybe them are pre-we like we are Putin or something. Our people like
they
we
are the
are
ones
Putin.
that is being like Putin.
Right.
They are the ones attacking us.
Can.
Right? You are squeezing this space little and little. This coming like how the cops treat black people in America now. You handcuff the man and you talk about. You have a man handcuff, you know. Stop resisting. Stop resisting.
Right.
If you have somebody under handcuff, what kind of resisting can resist? Give him this space for wiggle up. Right. He can't go nowhere. You have him on the ground under handcuff and you talk about stop resisting. Now that is what they are doing with us economically.
Right.
Because every time when them come and them squeeze and them trying to wonder how poor people survive. And when they look and they see you survive, they come and when they realize that it's because of the jerk chicken. The jerk chicken fly gone in the all-inclusive hotel now.
Good.
The tourists now come on the road for jerk chicken again, you know. And to buy a piece of sugar cane and jelly. Then just put all that in the all-inclusive. So you now come and squeeze we and tell we to stop resisting. Hey, people never end up committing crime. And pretty soon, I think they must realize this now. Pretty soon, though, that crime is going to be found at their gate.
Right.
Right? And it will take them. It's the same like how which day did Ukraine invaded again?
I'm gonna Google it, sir. Slovakia.
Yeah, Google it and tell me. In the meantime, let me play a little bit of this.
Done.
You find it?
Hold on, Slovakia, sir.
All right, find it before we play this.
The 24th, sir.
Right. So on the 24th of February, Russia invaded.
Gone.
What was happening on the 23rd of February? Ukrainians were living their normal life.
Right.
So in the same way, right now, they are living their big life. You see, before that day when people are turned against them because of hunger, it's gonna be a day like a sudden destruction, like Ukraine.
Right.
And they are going to run up and down and roll out the army. First of all, the people them know say that you don't have enough soldiers out there to keep the entire population under subjection. And why you're going to try to keep the nation under subjection, which you in the first place cause?
Right.
Is you cause the economic problem, you know? We are locked down the dance for. We are fight these people who do the vending at the school gate for. Why are you doing that for? We are fight the little jelly man who used to hustle amongst the tourists for. What are you doing all that for? Right? You're telling the tourists in my bag of lies. But whoever is doing it. But Jamaica violent and whatever. When our very politicians them know say, it don't really go so because the very politicians them, the ghetto leader, right? The violent ghetto is right across the road from where they live.
Right.
If it was that violent, then people would target them, man. A lot of whites live in Jamaica and you have a lot of white Jamaicans who have money. You know, think people would target them if it was as the way they are saying.
Right. Living comfortably in Jamaica.
But nobody talks about those who get caught up in this and they are a part of the criminal activities that is taking place.
Right.
Nobody talks about that. When you talk about the fact say they might get caught up in crime when they are the perpetrators of crime. You understand?
Gone.
Every evil that Jamaicans know was taught to us by another nation. We gunmen killing each other, that was taught to us by CIA. Scamming, that was taught to us by the Africans.
Right.
The Nigerians in particular came and started scamming Montego Bay. That was taught to us, right? Now the politicians will start teach the people them how to arm the Chinese because these Chinese are in this space and they are being very disrespectful to the people, which means that is telling them that you don't have to be respectful to the people.
Right. Gone.
Somebody is telling them. And pretty soon, the Jamaicans take crap thus far and not too far. So let them stay with that. You see? Let me hear what else this one saying.
For many, many years. Chinese are reopening businesses, closed and failed businesses all over Jamaica in rural areas where businesses once thrived for 15, 20 years ago, but no longer exist. Chinese have been opening up that sort of business, and have been doing well and contributing well to the GDP of Jamaica. If they're
all you think they are able to do this? If you are able to go and buy out failed businesses, it means that you get money.
Right.
If these businesses fail, then what caused them to fail? The economic stress that the same system put on the locals. We used to run business, so we know. Remember when we used to have we do wholesale, and the very heathen people them we take the wholesale goods from. They sell the goods where how would I put it now? It's the expensive goods. You get the expensive good.
Okay.
They come up with sale for a quantity of item which they know you can go push off. You can push it off in a certain time frame. For instance, you buy 20 of this, you get 2 free. A Chinaman, you can do it. You can sell off 20 keys or something.
Gone.
You find the money if you buy the 20 keys or something because you will get it from the bank or somewhere. Nobody not lending to us, black people, Nobody not lending to us. Nobody not the government has no pity on you.
Right.
You can make use of these opportunities. So clearly, they put it there, but they didn't put it there for you. They put it there for Mr. Chin. Mr. Chin is the one who now grows into this space, and then bringing new Mr. Chin. All the town areas have some Chinese in there, which there are some Chinese I can look on, and then you call them Jamaican Chinese. They don't know the Chinese language. They speak Patois. They go school 100% in Jamaica. Some of them go abroad, go study and come back. But their parents were born in Jamaica because you have, as him say, rightly say, you have Chinese roots in Jamaica for more than 100 years now. So there are persons who were born in Jamaica who are of Chinese descent, who have Moabite descent, right?
Good.
Those are not the ones that are in this space doing the business now. All of them get old. Their children not interested in taking over the space. They don't rent the space to you, the black man, Chinese from China.
Okay.
This is how we know that we giving them our money is an evil unto us.
Right.
Right? It's an evil. Business is warfare now. You giving the oppressor the money. Giving him you're paying him to oppress you, basically. Right? They have this big space for business. They ain't renting it to you. They go to China and get Chinese. As a matter of fact, some of the Chinese then come out here and, like him said, they're buying out businesses that were failing. All right, you run a business now and you make 100,000 a month and come and say, okay, I paid you the same 100,000 that you were making. Give me the space. So you look and you say, damn, I can get the same 100,000 that I would have been making if I was running a business. And at the same time, don't have the hassle of running a business.
Good.
And they think that they were getting a deal. Nah, it's not a deal you get it. You have to understand power. Right? You going through a bad time in a business now. It's good to hold on it for your people's sake, You sell it to another race. Why do you think the white people always want to buy out the black successful businesses? Because they want to take away your power.
Right.
Why is it that we can't get none of their business? Even the businesses that are failing of the other race, we don't get to buy. Why? Because they understand power.
Right.
They understand power. We are the ones who don't understand it. And we have to wake up and realize the war that we are in and start fighting. Right? Stop resisting and start resisting. Don't give them your money.
Right.
Right? You don't have to spend with them. Don't spend with them. You're empowering them to be masters, slave masters over your people. They are very disrespectful for one. And all that happened. And this is what me can't understand. They got prison, you know, because they don't have to bring in the illegal cigarettes, you know. And they make millions of dollars off that. Them illegal cigarettes and things.
They're ever concerned about Chinese leasing airports or seaports or leasing land concession, you please remember this. In the United States, for example, nearly all its seaports are leased by foreign businesses. They're leased and run by foreign businesses, and that's something most people don't realize. In my mind, I can only think of perhaps about 8 or so seaports in the United States that is actually run by local companies. Most of those companies are leased and run by foreign investors. This does not mean that foreign investors in any way own your country or is taking over your country. The uneasy truth about Jamaicans being unsettled by Chinese might simply be that we are supposed to be learning from the Chinese since they have such a good track record of business.
Well, listen this. You know what this him talk about foreigner when talk about? It's not the Chinese going into retail man space, you know. The Chinese taking over ports. The backside, we ain't one port. Yeah.
Yes, sir. You made a point that it doesn't mean that you have an influx of the other races coming into your country.
Chinese.
Taking over the top areas, the ports you need. It doesn't mean that they own your country. I don't understand.
Oh, really? The point he is not looking at. Them own a port. We never did own the ports. Our white people don't own the port in Jamaica, you know. So if white people see fit to sell it to the Chinese, we can do about it. But the space that we are supposed to grow into, that is the space that they are coming into. Right? We are supposed to grow into these business spaces. And what you find is that our government make it easy for them to migrate and come here. Right? In a finishing. They talk, so they don't give them, no, we don't give the Chinese incentive. Well, you don't give them visa either. And they are here because you have made the immigration requirements from the Chinese so easy.
Right.
If we, many of us could go into the States and do business too, you know. How easy is that?
Not very easy.
Is it this is him look like a half Chinese. And this is the problem that the Most High has been trying to get us away from. Don't give your daughters to their son. Don't take their daughters to your son either. Don't intermarry with them. Because they will never see things your way.
Right.
See it the ways of the. If you talk to the Japanese, that you have Japanese out here too, not as much as the Chinese. But the Japanese are more into our music. What do you think they're going to do? Oh, it's a good thing that that Japan is now in the reggae music. And now we have our local reggae artists now have big Japan for our show.
Right.
They appear on them, but them big thing is Japan splash. While our people complain about what they call it noise nuisance.
Noise abatement.
Well, the noise abatement coming as a law.
Okay.
PJ now under PJ's guidance, PJ say, all right, you might have to try it, please, everybody. So I say, all right, make the noise up to 2 o'clock. After 2 o'clock, lock off. The idiot police them now start to say, no, these events are causing too much crime. Now you get rid of all of them and the crime gone further. Why you call it? Why you not say, no, this quietness is causing too much crime. Let's make back some noise. Right? You need to allow the people to live the way they can. Since as you're not providing any ways for them to live and they are struggling and survive, allow them to survive. The most I'm going to charge is this. I tell you, it's the same like on the 23rd of February, Ukraine was up to the 23rd of February. Ukraine was all right until the 24th. It's the same thing what happened to you, the government here, Jamaica, and all over who is control over the most people. That 400 years of punishment is at an end, you know, and it's going to raise us up. You want to get you as the other nation want to get caught up in the most weapon and whiplash? You're a businessman. You continue.
I'm still here, sir.
Yeah.
And you see pressure where you talk about for add to your point, where them are put on us, you know what I mean? It should be in a life of crime like scamming. You
That's
know
what
I
I'm
mean?
talking about. You now push the people, you actually force the people to go into crime.
Right. So watch this and
all right. If me find a way to fry dumpling and make some good money,
and
you come now and you say, my fried dumpling, you find all the laws for draw against me fried dumpling.
Right.
So me can't fry dumpling again. Right? I'm gonna say, all right, I'm gonna start fry fish. Let me fry fish. You come in with some laws now, ask me if I'm a fisherman license. You come in with all kind of thing now to stop me from frying fish.
Right.
I might not be the one to go into crime, you know. But the fact that me can fry fish again, because my fry fish was doing so good that me buy coal from the man who burn coal. Right? Me travel with the taxi man to go look me things. So when I shut down my fish fry, you know, taxi man in a problem. Coal man in a problem. Gas station now might not sell as much as it used to, right? The fisherman, not to mention him, because he must sell me the fish. So him not sell that much fish again. What do you think is going to happen?
Man, I will turn to a life of crime.
Fried fish, the chicken man who you were targeting is not the one who's going to go into crime. But you see them other spin-off who used to benefit, because the coal man benefit was just a bag of coal a week or 2 bags of coal per week. And when they check how much you do a month, he say, wow, I want extra $8,000 this man make a month, you know, me can do X, Y, Z with it. With that $8,000, he can prevent his daughter from becoming a war and his son from becoming a gunman. His son now, if you think, why daddy now no food today, you know, but you know, say, I have to go on the road, go look it, you know. Yeah. I think you politicians know what it means now when the man them say, why I have to go on the road, go look it, you know. It don't mean say, go on the road, go beg.
Right.
He ain't begging.
And slack, yes, sir. And slack, yes, sir. Which one, you know what I mean? It seems like them rather the you know what I mean, the worst case scenario. Which one would I rather? You know what I mean? A man who go through the legal means to become rich and him find himself in your community, or a man that use criminality to become rich and find himself in your community. You understand? Because guess what I go on now? A man where a scammer go bring crime with him. And him go live in your community, so crime go forward in your community, in your upper class community.
Because the people them who scam and know him, so him, I could have 20 years from now, we must find him, you know.
Right, God.
Must find him and kill him.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's why crime are reach in the upper class community now. So
yes,
that is just the consequence. Slack it.
Allow the poor people to live. They're not the poor people, they're not stealing to survive, you know. They were doing their honest bread. Allow them to make them honest bread. The Almighty already have punished them. You don't make it harder. The Most High ain't call you for do nothing. He might punish him them himself. This come like when you beat up picking and somebody come and get turn up and talk about. Turn up and watch you beat up picking and then you start to things like serve him right, man. And guess what now? The picnic escape from you now and run towards the gate, you know, you catch him and give him back to your parents now. So boss your ass, man. Yeah, man. So if people ever try to survive from the punishment, the Most High give them and you know come and say, beat him the cladder, man. Take with this. And you know what? You yourself not righteous. So when the Most High finish beat his child now, him going to bust your ass too. Yeah.
And any means of the Most High allow us to survive from, that is his mercy. So we are try to take away a little mercy with the Most High show we. You understand? Not even that you want we experience.
And the means by which he punish us, he's also going to punish them.
Right.
So when the table turn and they become the flatfoot hustlers in our place, man, we're not going to get some nigga abuse.
Right. Yeah,
right?
man.
People say, wait, Mr. Chin, a flatfoot, come here, Mr. Chin, come here. Kick away foot and throw away and sit them. They are going to be abused. Simple because of the table turning. And the Most High don't tell you, say, you see what them do to you? Do unto them what?
Double.
God. Damn.
Metro come take away for them goods too, man. So look here.
Worse than Metro.
You know what I mean?
Worse than Metro. We are use Chinese, take with Chinese goods.
God.
We're going to make Chinese oppress Chinese. And we're going to make white man oppress white man.
Right.
So they ain't going to see our face oppressing them. And see ones them will do your oppressing, we give them incentives. Those are the ones who are going to get the tax break. Oh, you're being a good boy. You're oppressing 20 Chinese. Okay, we can give you a little break. Not got to earn that. Right? So now there is no such thing as to rules as to how you treat blacks. Use your good conscience against the blacks. Because what goes around comes around. You better remember that.
Learn from the Chinese instead of creating an atmosphere that is predetermining a failure for them. Let the Chinese and America work out their differences, their issues of economic jealousy, and we should be learning from them. Actually, do what we can to develop our country. Do what the Chinese did with which is whichever country invests in their country, they learn from them by whatever method they learn from them, and now they're much better. All right. We cannot keep accusing the Chinese immigrants of you know these accusations of fake food and this and that. They seem to have a method that is tried and proven. So the uneasy truth might simply be that we need to learn from them. We are no better off economically without them, because other countries, like the United States, for example, I've always, when they invest in your country, they've always asked for a pound of flesh or your firstborn for years. You know, they want a whole of it. With the Chinese, at least, they tell you what they want, you tell them what they want, and they give you what they want, and that's been the character of the religion.
For your information, the Africans who has opened their doors to the Chinese are now reeking from it.
Right.
Then the same infrastructure that they allow the Chinese to come in to build, they have to now turn them over to them. Can't pay them. So always No oppression is good, regardless of where it come from. So basically what he is saying that why better Chinese are oppressor than the white man. That is rubbish. That's rubbish. Oppression is oppression. Right? When the white man was out here and we were working free for him, and then his own laws changed and he have to start pay people to work. What he did? He bring in the Chinese and the Indian. So why you think the Chinese and the Indian know better than him? Is him carry them come here? Them all do the same thing like what him do. Right?
Right.
I don't see how it's gonna be better. Right?
Relationship with them. All right. My testament is simply that I look in my community and I see on my main street 7 businesses that I know have been closed for years, and now it's the Chinese that are that has resurrected them. Otherwise, they were staying there, rotting down, and homeless people living in them. I'm just saying, you know, we might not want to throw out the baby with the bathwater. We need to be thinking sensibly and not.
Many of those businesses that closed from the past and remain closed because they are not changed. White people in one, most of them, and some uppity blacks who think them white. The wannabe white black man. They own a couple of them, right?
Exactly. What you call them? Roast breadfruit.
Roast breadfruit.
God.
They didn't. Many of them don't want to change hands with their business to you, the black.
Right.
And by you, the black, I mean you, the black, who is not pretending to be white.
Right.
You, the black, is masculine in your blackness.
Right.
And proud of your blackness, not your Africanness, but your Israeliteness. They are not interested in selling you, even when you're paying them good money. What you want? Where you come so far? Them kind of way they will deal with you.
God.
Right? We never approach one of them, But the thing is, I've heard persons speak. There was a time in Maypen where one black man did have, most black people have hardware in a Maypen. 2. One of them went blind and had another race, somebody who was over their affairs, robbed the teeth out of them. Another one still alive, running in business. Him can give you the history of the experience him have with the whites who were running their hardware, and him as a one black man way out of them reach. Him not even in a town center, you know. Way out of them reach. Many of him say them used to call film suppliers all the way in Kingston and tell them not to sell him this and not to sell him that. Yeah, man. So the Chinese come out here now and see, invited by the white man, and see the white man treating you like that. He more the worse than the white man.
God.
Because them come run these. The white man wasn't so much in retail space, you know. Because he wasn't the one who was going to interface with you when you go to buy a pound of flour.
God.
That's what I'm bringing the Chinaman for. So I'm bringing the Chinaman as an oppressor, not as a friend. And even when the Chinese used to live in the ghetto, Chinaman never thinks you're my friend. Hungry one night and go look something for trust for them. Say, boy, my pound of flour till tomorrow. All of when you have spent with him for how many months?
Nah, give.
How many years? You ain't get in preference to say you stop buying from him.
God.
No. We not trust. We ain't gonna trust. We can't trust.
God.
And so on and so forth. And I do it. But at the same time, him have film China friend, they will trust him and give him 3 months credit.
Right.
Because Grace Kennedy used to do this. Many of the shops where you see use again, they get them 30-day credit and then 3 months credit. So when they see them come and stack up the shop, and out of them pocket they do it. They get the goods and it's not really consignment. Because they have to pay for it. You can't return nothing unless it's spoiled. They got it on credit.
Okay.
Something which not really exists right now again. Because you have some blacks who is now fighting and getting in the business. So the credit part cut out. Because who they want to go through the gate, gone through.
Okay.
Yeah, man. So China, Mr. Chin used to stack his shop on credit. And it a fail. Because where else you going to buy? You don't know where else to go buy. The little black man who have a little corner shop, you used to have to go to him to get the goods from wholesale.
Okay.
So Mr. Chin goods must sell. But you ain't gonna get it from Grace on credit. In argue. Yeah.
Yes, sir. It makes me go back to the point that
Remember what you're gonna say. And if you doubt me, you and your blackness go in to Grace Kennedy now and look at the reaction you get from the people. And you will understand what I say.
Good.
In a modern day Jamaica, so-called modern day.
Good.
Yeah.
As I've oftentimes heard the I.S.U.P.K break down in the 83rd Psalm where they talk about the crafty counsel.
Yeah.
And here
that is part of the crafty counsel that they have taken against us.
And here are people continue to say that, and that's why we can't make a look for the China man. Look for this, look for that.
But they don't know how the China man come up. The China man never come up by pulling no, what they say, pull yourself up by your own bootstraps.
I don't think that.
Ukraine never pull up themselves by their own bootstrap.
Good.
I know we know how much aid and thing they get from EU and from America. The Chinese out here never pull up no self for no own bootstrap.
Right.
And when they run corner shop and so the same Grace Kennedy used to give them credit. Right? It never happened. What you were saying now?
And it only goes to show that it is not, you know, in the world, I used to be of the view that all of these other races in the country doing business, Chinese and the other races, Chinese more prominent. And I would have oftentimes looked into the saying that the Chinese, look at them, look at all they organize and come together. It wasn't until I came into the truth under the I.S.U.P.K and the commanding general there, YAHANNA, and the generals and captains and officers, who will open my eyes to see that this is really crafty in keeping our people at bay, to keep our people enslaved mentally, and to see the damage that is being done to them.
But listen me now. In Jamaica, yeah, they what you call the black man, the Rasta man, you talk about oppression and something.
Good.
I tell you, we have to give commanding general YAHANNA. He has taught us the right way to see and fight oppression. When the Rasta man them used to different with them weeded and them white loving self. Because all of them will become successful go take white woman.
Right. And the other white lady.
Then I remember them African princess when they used to talk about.
The black woman and child.
Don't ban them and take abuse from them. And as soon as them get a one bus from their music, who do you think they when they go find them married?
The white woman.
German. And the worst kind of a white they married, you know, German.
Okay.
Then he better them go take up another Israelite from over the country if you want a German. Take a Israel black German. Not the African kind, the Israelite kind over there.
Right.
Because you know feel say, why I have money now, you know, everybody will come beg me. When you used to have a beg everybody.
Right.
Let me tell you something, man. The true oppression and thing when you used to go on to Jamaica. You know, I used to think Grace was owned by Chinese. Guess who owned Grace? The first set of people ever owned Grace. I mean, I think they sell out to them. The Jewish people, them. Yep.
Okay.
So the damn Jewish people were giving credit to the Moabites against us.
So a planting.
The crafty council.
Can. And them of all people know what go on with we because they are the ones that steal our identity.
Them have our identity, man.
Can.
So when them look and they say, oh, blurs need. I'm not going to take my things, build up the black man there now.
Right.
Bring in the Chinese then.
Can.
And they give the credit to the Chinese.
Can.
They make 1 and 2 blacks get through, you know, making it look so bad. Because you see the 1 and 2 blacks who then left to get through. Them blacks they come be taskmasters.
Taskmasters, gone.
One them people.
Gone.
Yeah, man. But these companies that used to credit Chinese is the Jewish people among them.
Right.
Not have our emotions and our intolerance. Yes, we do have intolerance. Jamaica was not a place generally known for racism, but we do have intolerance, a certain social class intolerance, and many of us who are dirt poor still see the Chinese as being people who are beneath us. And we need to kind of get a hold of ourselves and try to.
Man, come in the country and try and get a dog feed them. You know above you. A dog and put. What can we more above you? Right? Jamaicans have started to respect. You see, I tell you, the Chinese, them are born out, they have their roots out of 100 years. They were the ones who, black people, start learn to respect. Because them not food on the dog, them eat the same thing like you. You trust them with food because they not give you the unclean food. Right? Them not pitting a food you. Right? But you see them whenever they import, when they start import, they import the Chinese, they're nasty.
Mm-hmm.
And if you doubt me, go and talk to the Ministry of Health. You don't have to take my word for it. Go and speak to the Ministry of Health as to these conditions of the businesses that they're running
right
in Jamaica, that the Ministry of Health many times have to hold it under hush. Because it's going to expose them because of you they met them. It's going to expose the government because it's the government who made them come out here. They're nasty.
Right.
Right? And you talk about them beneath you. Not even when we're dirt poor, we're not nasty.
Right. Salakia, sir.
Yeah.
Salakia. I can't really us speaking out against, you know what I mean, them unsanitary, you know what I mean, behavior and the dog eating make him think say, yo, we are looked down upon them. Because other than that, we treat the Chinese like them are, you know what I mean, like them are gods over we as a people.
They're above us.
Right.
But
so
they treat us like they are oppressors.
Right. You understand? So this
and
man.
The worst kind because they are oppressors without much power.
Right. Where am I get fame from?
That's the only good thing about it, you know. They're not no political power out here, you know.
Right.
That's the only good thing. And we don't even know if it make much a difference because who have the political power back them? Right? When the white man they come out here, you know, and they come out here nasty too, you know.
Good.
But when they take the black maids, they learn. They hear a lot of the black women them talk. Right? Many of them used to come on the plantation because they have the factory houses. So they would come from their white country, they would get a factory house. Everything taken care of under the factory house, including a maid. And these maids, because I hear the maid, the older folks they used to talk, say, you know, so when the white man they come out there and freeze, they used to freeze the meat and eat it. They don't know about to cook the food. When they get the maid and the maid cookie give them, oh, lovely, it's nice, and so on. They conform. But them Chinese, yeah, they are nasty.
Right.
So how you going to feel comfortable with them? I've never heard any of them old folks say white people spitting a food with people. I've never heard that. It could have happened, I don't know. But you hear so many from the Chinese. They have joke about it and think.
Disgusting people.
They are disgusting.
Right.
And their residents when they live in them, when other people have to come in, could work or whatever, you see the nastiness around them.
Right.
So I've heard persons who have gone to their you look at the outside of the house, it's some big house or something, go to do what do I call it now? They go take up work. No man, not domestic work. They're going to do some work on the house and go to give them estimate and things. So you have to know, look at what they have in comparison to what you're going to give them. the egg nastiness that they see around make them cringe. Sometimes you hear some of them say, boy, I give them a price where you know they're not gonna want to take me still. Because they don't really want to go.
Yeah.
But if I go, you have to go pay me more. You understand?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Something? Okay. Now, somebody was about to say something. Was you? Yeah.
Concert, I don't know if you remember, there was one of those establishment restaurants in the environs here in this parish that they were caught cutting up the meat that they were going to prepare for serving to the public on the floor.
Yes. Ministry of Health inspectors me here talk about that. Then go then just because the health inspector can come on your premises unannounced. And they go there when they never expect them. Just go catch them they put the meat on the ground and a chop. No cutting board, no nothing. You know what else another health inspector tell me about? This one was a Jamaican Chinese. At blacks working with him and thing. The meat board where them cut up the meat and that no washing up. So if you have a meat board that you don't wash, what do you think happen?
Decayed flesh is remain on it.
Decayed flesh?
Yeah, meaning if you chop up meat on it, meat stuck in the board. And if you left it overnight, that is now expired meat, you know what I mean? And if you left that over a period of time, a whole heap of germs and bacteria and, you know what I mean, sickness can come from that, man. It's lucky.
Why can you run? You have never seen a nasty kitchen, obviously.
Lucky.
I will tell you what came out of that. What does that say?
Okay. You say worse than that?
Hold on. Yes, let me hear what she's saying.
It's saying the board is not washed.
Yeah.
What will happen?
Yeah.
You'll have little people maggots afterwards.
All right. Every woman would know that. So a baggage take up that.
Okay, so look here.
Nasty.
Yeah.
Maggots. How long you think it take for the mortgage farm and that? Maybe 3 days, you know.
Okay.
So you have no this. You know what a Ministry of Health person told me? It's more than one of them tell me that. I hear from one who was the head for Clarendon. Yeah, man. Ministry of Health inspector. He was as responsible for Clarendon Parish. All right. How many me get to have a conversation again? I don't know inspection they can do. He spoke of how do you go again? Oh, him used to do another work. So I saw him in the other work. I said, hold on. You know, health inspector again. I said, of course, he do it too. So that they alone can't pay me, man. So me and him talk and I say, yeah, man, I me did over Clarendon and thing. So me say, So I say, I have a buck up on the nastiness in some of the big business places. He said, Jesus Christ. See what he say? And him start telling me. But some of the same supermarket them are owned by the Chinese. He tell me about and then he tell me about the maggot on the meat. But him tell me about all right, this was what he said one at a time. Him say, you see them little street side kitchen and cook shop. Someone say, hey, yes. I tell me not soon inspect them like how to inspect the bigger one them. He said, let me tell you something. This street side kitchen them way more cleaner than them big KFC restaurant. What's it not restaurant? I'm gonna say, oh. I said, I don't know, but when you go in there, you swap the place. Why E. coli bacteria, the bacteria you find in I'm gonna say, in them clean places. I don't know what happened.
Clean
so
out on front.
So a little man who have in kitchen up on the roadside and something. Him say we check them all the while, you know. I mean I tell us say it's clean. We don't find bacteria in them place there. And I'm like, really? Yeah. I mean, one of them to help me start, you know, when we want a lunch, The find one where you can look and see, because some you can look and you see the cleanliness around them. They start buying me lunch there so, as opposed to going to the big restaurant. The man said him as a health inspector, him no hit at the big restaurant them. Him want a food, him go tap at the little corner shop and buy him food because him said they are way cleaner. And guess what? None of them corner shop restaurant are run by Chinese. None of them. The
Right.
Chinese, they have the bigger Chinese restaurant and other restaurant, and them full of nastiness. So this man I don't know what him talking about. People judge you by the experience, the things you do that makes a man's stomach cringe.
Right.
What do you expect him to judge you?
And so
hold on. Remember, I know the health persons, they are humans too, you know. When they go and they see the nastiness and they stomach cringe, they can't keep it to themselves. You know, one of them do one time, after them speak to them, and they won't change. One morning they go there and catch them with the nastiness and just go back in the supermarket area and open the door and call somebody, the same people them were buying. Say, come here, hold on, come here. But a dozen people go around there and said, look here, see what I buy from here. This is where I'm from. The same day, Mr. Chin locked it down himself. The health inspector locked it down. He shut the restaurant, he shut the supermarket and make sure him clean up it himself because what? The customer now knows. So in pocket is now gonna get affected. Does that sound like somebody who don't understand economics? Of course he understand economics. But because I not him eat it, are they obviously maybe the nastiness don't affect him.
Gone.
Right? Because anybody who deliberately name dog will have a good stomach. Because when you look at the things that right? Yeah, what you were saying now.
So like yes, sir. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it tell you, you know what I mean? Say our people have a lot of patience for these Edens because look at all the things that we know the Chinese do. And we still patronize them. You know what I mean? We still treat them as if they are gods above us. You know what I mean? Nobody is killing and abusing Chinese. So how can this person say that, you know what I mean, we, you know what I mean, Jamaicans, what was the word he used? That we basically treat Chinese
them like they are below us.
Like, you know what I mean? When we are the ones who still give them money and make them rich.
Well, let me tell you something. This man is either half Chinese,
right,
or he marry a Chinese.
God.
But he has Chinese sentiments.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what I'm saying now.
Benefit as much as possible from their business expertise and their money. They do that in every country they go around the world. You cannot begrudge them for that. They have risen.
So basically, the point where he might try and make it is that from the man have money and things, show him some respect.
Okay, God.
Israel culture is deeper than just money.
Right.
Right? If it was just money, the most we would have been on top if it was just money.
Right.
But our culture, when you check our laws, it tell you what to eat. It tell you how to take care of yourself. It in that you know, the clean and unclean. It tell you about how to celebrate, which holidays you have to celebrate. Holy days to celebrate. The Chinese then don't have that. Whatever they celebrate is what they consent to generally.
Right.
And to celebrate or to not celebrate. They can't show you none laws where come from God where say do this, do that. But we have those. We have restrictions on to who we marry. And funny enough, nobody don't have to tell Mr. Chin say your daughter not marry the next race. You know how enough of them get married another race is when the daughter go see pornographic pictures of black man and then start to lust.
Okay, God.
I said, damn, is that thing making that woman feel so good? I want to feel that way too. Right? Yeah, man. That's why they talk Chinese. You ever hear someone that talk about, why put it on for Mr. Chin, and she said, ping, pong, 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 pong. Yeah, that
Yeah.
just sexually. But those are the things that, I mean, if we, all right, we're talking now, we mention how nasty they are. Why should we want to live with any nasty person?
Right. Right.
You shouldn't want to live with any nasty person.
So like a
Because
person
we're
will
economic
eat.
power, and we should not.
First one?
I was going to say a person will eat dog. Oh, you kiss a person will eat dog.
Make a white man go do that because him kiss dog too.
Right. Yeah, can.
Until when them come Jamaica and say dog eat doo-doo. He said, Lord, how can you let your dogs eat that? And then
But Slakia, sir.
Dog.
Slakia, feed them dog eat out of toilet too. So, you know what I mean?
I mean, when they're thirsty in the bathroom, they go, and
right.
I mean, I see one video with one of them about them mix up, they call it what? Pilot punch. The party.
God.
All of them just nasty. Just bunch of eating. That is why this is why the Most High gave us these laws and said these laws supposed to make you separate and clean and holy unto me. Because we can't take them whole nastiness there.
Right.
But we have to deal with man. So you know Israelites, you're much cleaner. Yeah, me like you. You know name dog, you know name puss. Don't follow them and eat it, you know.
Right.
Right? Keep your environment clean. But no, we said, no, sir, we want to friend the man who name the dog and the puss. You had a question? Okay. All right, we could hear what else I'm saying.
Not have, we should not end up being proxies for the United States uneasiness with their competition, because there's not a whole lot you can actually look around you and say.
But from we in a slavery, we have been proxies for the white man. So all of a sudden, as the Chinese man, how come you know you should not be proxies for the Americans? They were not proxies for them all along. We'll keep the Chinese out.
Well, the United States took care of that for us. For years, we've been driving on the dirt roads, and now we're driving on the highways. I think there's something to be said for some of those things.
It was the white men who built the highways. The only reason why the white men them lose that contract to build the highway because them start meddling in politics, and they make the Chinese them buy them out.
God.
Any nation come out here and meddle in our politics, he's gonna get squeezed because we don't know where you're up to. Where you are donate money. You're in here doing business and you donate 100 million to this party, and either 10 or none to the other party. And the one that you did not donate to, them win. Waiting what happen?
I'll get you out.
Go get you out.
God.
And that reach the French white man them out here. That's how the Chinese get to be on the highway project out here, you know. And as soon as they find a fault, then somebody will government away that buy them out themselves or get somebody buy them out and run them out. Just so it go.
All right. Again, this is simply to say, you know, wake up and smell the coffee and start thinking smartly. Learn from these people. They have a good track record of business, and we can benefit in that sense.
That's a damn lie. They have been neighbors too, the Indian man. From as long as China and India have been together, they had a land border they have, and the two of them don't do business. The Indian man said, you can't trust the Chinese. Anything you and him agree to, after a while it change. They don't do business, and they are neighbors. He's not neighbor to me. Why am I not listen to the Indian man? And the white man knows that you can't do much business with the Chinese either, you know. Because you see all them industrial things that China is pushing out, how you think you learn them? The same white men them who went into China to do business, you learn from them after a while, you run them out. And their techniques leave behind. Right? even businesses that were copyrighted. Because then give one motor vehicle named Great Wall. Great Wall is Toyota under another name. Toyota parts them I use. Right? They might make it a little, do some little skew some little thing on it. But it's Toyota technology, and the Japanese are trouble them, make them steal. The thing we don't know for the technology on the steal. Yeah, that is China. They are leeches, parasites. That is why the Most High says, all right, before we finish him, find this for me. Moab is my washtub.
Another one can. Silakia, sir, may I have a video queue up of some Chinese killing a donkey here in Jamaica. A fool.
That one there. Lord.
Silakia.
I don't play it. Give me Moab is my washtub.
Can. Another one can. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 60 and verse 8. Moab is my washpot.
Moab, read verse 7. What 7 say?
Another one can. Verse 7. Gilead is mine, and Manasseh is mine. Ephraim.
All right. So, what you do with washpot?
You wash your dirty things, them in a.
You wash your dirty things, them in a washpot. So the God of heaven is telling you, God of the universe is telling you, the God of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans is telling us that Moab I am washpot.
Right.
The Moabites are the Chinese. So who is this man we can tell about when we look on them that way? We finish listening to him and then we'll watch the donkey killing.
Yes. Thank you for watching. This is Wake Up and Live with Bob. If you like what you heard, please remember to subscribe.
All right, so that's the end of what he's saying. But, brethren, we are Jamaican, yes. And I realize that all the Jamaicans who profess to be successful always speak in favor of them other nation over us.
Okay.
Every single one of them. Start talking now about Ukraine. And you see how much of them defend Ukraine. How much Ukrainian out there? I don't know if any out here. But look and see, after a while, if our government get up and say them are going to take in some Ukrainian, look and see how much of them are get up and say, yes, we should this and yes, we should that. But let we know UPK born Jamaicans go on the street or even get to our government and say, ease up the pressure for the people. Leave them space alone, make them do business. Look how much of them would have speak against me.
Right.
Yeah, man. I still remember the reaction because I used to travel I tell you, I love travel still, you know. So I used to travel the street, travel the road. My job was traveling on the road, right? I still remember the reaction from many of them uppity. And them are the upper class. Right? It's just, they are not Israelites.
Good.
I remember the reaction of them when PJ did free up motor vehicle. I have more motor vehicle coming in the country. Because many of them was of the view that motor vehicle is luxury. That was the view that they hold. I still remember their reaction. Them, it load of mercy when blacks start to own some, and not even brand new vehicle, I mean. Call it brand new second hand. Right? Coming from Japan, 2-year-old. Right? 3-year-old. Very good condition. Better condition than the vehicle that them out here struggle to buy. It was an eyesore to them. I still remember. So I don't expect any of them to, and I don't want them to agree with me. Right? But let it be said that we said it. We want them. Right? And when the fire start dropping, and we going to drop it. It's the most I going to drop it. Right?
Right.
And it's going to be dropped right at your feet. Mr. Government. This is a message to you now. Your Easter message is from UPK Jamaica, right? And you better take it. And the same thing that happen to Ukraine, the most I go bring it on you. And I don't know we Jamaicans are gonna bring it. The Jamaican next nation bring it. Because you cannot oppress the most people continually. You just oppress. Who you suiting with that? Not in yourself, you know, because you are the one crying about crime. So obviously the oppression that you are putting on the people, not suiting you. Ease up the pressure of the people. All right, with the donkey killing then.
Can one can.
You sure not too graphic?
I go skip past it. I now play the graphic part. You know what I mean? Just know that donkey was killed in the video. You know what I mean? And this is the disgusting nature of, you know what I mean, the Moabites. You know what I mean? So I will play it up onto a point and then I will stop.
What do you think?
Mr. One no good. Mr. One strong.
I invite you.
Oh, you need a fire on up at the tree.
The bomb.
How up there? Where?
Fire light up there.
Where up on the fire?
Remember, boy, you need fire up the light.
Oh, no, do another right. No, let me do.
They must skin him like how they skin goats.
And cow.
Yeah.
They must cut him throat and skin him.
Yeah. Go work. Come on, we are
both.
Good.
Yeah, I think that man in the white shirt, that man the Chinese chef now.
Yeah, you have a next one over to the part of the camera there as well. Couple of them well did it.
Hello. Some countrysides did start to have asses in Jamaica that were becoming wild asses. All of them disappeared. They were becoming wild asses because people, you know, people now use donkeys so much again, they just let them go. Oh, I think, well, one case I know about, the owner of the donkey died. So the donkey just leave.
Good.
Wander about, right?
Good.
Buck up, it was a male donkey, buck up on some female, start impregnating, and they were building a, what do you call it? A what of donkeys now? Herd? Say a herd of donkeys.
Good.
I think it reached at one point about 12 or 13. And they all disappeared when the Chinese came out here. And that is just one herd. Many herds of donkey disappear out here because they get them cheap, you know. Now you working with the Chinese and they won't tell us, you know, hey, kill the donkey and cook it and sitting. So, you know, in taste it when I cook it, if you see if it's salt content and the seasoning is right.
Gone. And Salakia, just last it either early last year or late the year before. You know what I mean? Them find a portion to donkey skull. You understand? Some place on some, you know what I mean, part. I remember which parish. You understand? Which we know our people don't kill and consume donkey, so you know what I mean? We know who is responsible for that. Alright. Look like sir I have some technical difficulties. Alright, sir I have some technical difficulties. So in the meanwhile, remember to like the video. You understand? Subscribe to the channel, leave in the comments. You understand? Until Sir Sue jump back in shortly. You understand? So, you know what I mean? Sir is breaking down, you know what I mean? Oh, our government, you know what I mean, shipping the Moabites, the Chinese, you know what I mean, for take the well needed, you know what I mean? All right, sir, Salakia, you drop out a while ago, out of the dashboard.
The oppressor get the message, so I want to cut the message.
Right. Yeah, man. Slack, sir. You remember the recent video with the donkey them, the donkey skull them where them find on some part. I don't remember the parish. One heap of donkey bone and thing. I think it was last year.
Yes, it was St. Anne. Year before last.
Year before last. God. Yeah, man.
Before that, it's when the Chinese were finishing that leg of highway up to the north coast.
Okay, gone.
So this donkey that you're looking at now, is our bone supposed to end up in that pile too?
God.
Yeah, what they do, they slaughter the donkey and take off the flesh.
Right.
And throw away the bones.
Mm.
And then they don't have the common sense to even catch to burn the bones. They just throw it away.
So
how are you now going to compete with a set of people when they have anything to survive?
Right.
Him eat donkey, we eat beef. Right? Him eat puss and him eat dog. While we eat goat, chicken. Look at the price of goat and chicken and sheep and cow. Right? We follow them and eat pig. We're not supposed to eat pig, but pig price even more than the donkey. How you compete with them, the people? How are you going to compete with people who bring prisoners into your country to compete with you for labor? Prison labor is cheap, Probably all free too. How are you going to compete with persons like that? You can't. It's like you competing with somebody who have slaves.
Right.
You can't compete with them. So what that Mr. Man was talking about? Talking crap, man. Give me another scripture. Give me, so I have to wrap up. Give me Deuteronomy. All right, now I can't even touch that there again. Judith 5.
Another one.
Judith in the Apocrypha.
Gun.
So when the white man bring in the Chinese and they, not even so much Indian, because the Indian not nasty like the Chinese, We never hear no nastiness from the Indian, but the Indian never.
So like, yes, sir. The Indian them nastiness are more hygiene.
Yeah.
God.
I'm more like, and
you know,
they don't be now. They just people also say, hey, they smell wrong. Only that you can say about the coolie man, But you can't say nasty in terms of food. And, and how he keep his surrounding and sitting.
Okay.
We never hear them call him nasty because of that. But Mr. Chin, they call him nasty for all kind of things.
Right.
And that's the man who our oppressor put in our space.
God.
Because they know that we not exercising certain cleanliness is going to prevent the Most High from being among us. Right. Remember even the law that says, tell the children of Israel when they go abroad to fight, don't do all about the place, man.
Gone.
Because the angel of walk among you,
right,
in delivering the enemy unto you. Dig a hole and put it down in there and cover it. You want the angel come among you and step in shit?
Right.
That is what our law was about. Then them bring people to come shit all about from we. So what do you expect? The Most High not going to be with us.
Gone.
So our oppressor, the white man, he knows what he's doing. Then bring the Chinese out here for a reason. Yeah, man. They bring him against us. Mr. Chin thought that he was trying to help him. You know, help him here, Mr. Chin. I use him. You find Judith?
Sir. Judith 5. Right. Which verse?
Now, we have to go skip some. I'll tell you which one. Wait. I had it. All right, read verse 5 then.
Another one can. This is the book of Judith, chapter 5, verse 5. Then said Achior, the captain of all the sons of Ammon, let my Lord now hear a word from the mouth of thy servant, and I will declare unto thee the truth concerning this people. which dwelleth near thee, and inhabited the hill countries, and there shall no lie come out of the mouth of thy servant.
All right, verse 6.
Verse 6. These people are descended of the Chaldeans.
So this is now the Japanese telling, I think it was, which nation at the time?
Persia.
The Persians.
God.
The Persians would have, but the Persians are the Iranians.
God.
Yeah. So this was Japan telling Iran about us. Read 7.
Another one can, verse 7. And they sojourned heretofore in Mesopotamia, because they would not follow the gods of their fathers, which were in the land of Chaldea.
Right. So we don't want to go follow. This is Abraham time now. We don't want to follow idolatry. Verse 8.
Another one can, verse 8. For they left the way of their ancestors and worshipped the God of heaven, the God whom they knew. So they cast them out from the face of their gods, and they fled into Mesopotamia and sojourned there many days.
Right. So because we not Chaldea, we not worship idolatry, they run way out. That was Abraham and his crew. Run them out, and Abraham go sojourn for a while in Mesopotamia. Okay. In the same way we are telling our people today, don't follow the gods of these heathens. Yeah, when we really find that, and stop following these gods, then probably will come against we, but the God of heaven we have to stand up for.
Right.
All right. Verse 9 says.
Another one can, verse 9. Then their God commanded them to depart from the place where they sojourned, and to go into the land of Canaan, where they dwelled and were increased with gold and silver and with very much cattle.
All right. So we were beginning to gather wealth. All right. Drop down to verse. So this is now when we go down in the Reds, we're going to Egypt and all that and blah, 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 blah. Drop down to 17.
Another one can, verse 17. And whilst they sinned not before their God, they prospered, because the God that hated iniquity was with them.
Right. So when we don't sin against the God of heaven, that is when we prosper. Not right. When the other man tell you, go take bath and so on and so forth. God. Read that part again. And whilst.
Another one can, verse 17. And whilst they sin not before their God, they prospered, because the God that hated iniquity was with them.
So we prospering is not geared towards the Chinese.
Right.
We don't need to follow the Chinese to prosper. All we need to do is to stop sinning before God. Stop worshiping Easter, stop worshiping celebrating Christmas and so on.
Right.
Right in the Christmas time, I remember I said, you continue to celebrate Christmas and say, God, I'm going to lick you with some disease. Mix up the virus powder and go to one we name all Delta Cran. Yeah. And you know we're going to celebrate Easter, and you're going to cause God to now raise Delta Cran upon you. Because you're still not listening.
Right.
Yeah. Stop celebrating the high holy days of the heathen, so that the Most High can see fit to bless you. Right. And nobody obey you. Obey don't work against you. Even when somebody really try to put something in a way, that is not the problem. The problem is that you still doing sin. You're still sinning before God. You're celebrating the high holy days. Right now, Easter, what I love to eat at Easter?
Easter bun.
When I go have your bacon breakfast. And the cakes that you see the Easter bun, when you read about the Queen of Heaven in the Bible, they tell you that we used to bake cakes to the Queen of Heaven.
Right.
That's the Easter bun.
God.
And that is the food offering that you used to make to the God of Ishtar and the God of the Queen of and to the Queen of Heaven. And these nations know, and just like how this Japanese is telling the Iranian, some Iranian, our history, it's the same thing today. Verse what we there again?
Verse 19, 18, Slakia.
That was 18. All right, give me. No,
Slakia, we just read verse 17, but they are 18 now.
All right, read 18.
Verse 18. But when they depart from the way which he appointed them, they were destroyed in many battles, very sore.
All right. So when the way that the Most High appointed us, that's what we call these laws, statutes, and commandments. When we depart from that way, we are destroyed in many battles, very sore. And one of the battles that is destroying us right now is the economic war that is raged against us, the black people in Jamaica, by our very own government.
Right.
And nobody outside that do it. Is you who we see doing it. I don't need to stop it.
Right.
Because you're creating criminals and then you go and blame the whole society and make every black man look like a criminal.
Right.
And most of you very well know that is not true. And to tell you how so much you know it is not true, the ghetto is right beside you and you're going to your house any hours a night.
Mm-hmm.
With one or no security. Because you know that nobody from over no ghetto not hunting you down. You know that.
Right.
Why are you not giving allowing whoever is doing it, giving the impression like Jamaicans are criminals? When we know that it is you creating pockets of criminals from the economic pressure, this economic warfare that you're raging against us. So what?
Right.
What are you going to be benefiting from that? You are going to benefit the end cannot be good.
Right.
Finish that verse. Really start from that verse from the start again and go right through.
This is the book of Judith, chapter 5 and 18. But when they departed from the way which he appointed them, they were destroyed in many battles, very sore, and were led captives into a land that was not theirs. And the temple of their God was cast to the ground, and their cities were taken by the enemies.
So these evils come upon us when we're not serving God.
Right.
Give me verse. All right, read 19 and 20.
Verse 19. But now are they returned to their God, and are come up from the places where they were scattered, and have possessed Jerusalem, where their sanctuary is, and are seated in the hill country, for it was desolate.
Right. So we'll go back home now and start serving God. 20. This is the advice now that the Japanese is giving to the Iranians. Go on.
Right. Verse 20. Now therefore, my Lord and Governor, if there be any error against this people, and they sin against their God, let us consider that this shall be their ruin, and let us go up, and we shall overcome them.
Right. So what you do now, you're bringing the nasty Chinese amongst us to keep us, for us to keep violating our clean laws.
Right.
You bring Easter amongst us and Christmas and these days through the church, Christianity in general, because they're giving us an interpretation of the scripture that does not go so.
Right.
And they have removed this scripture from this here that we're reading, has been removed from the Holy Scripture, so that we don't know that the other nation know how to fight us.
Right.
So this Japanese is telling this Iranian that it's not the sword to go against these people with, you know. You get them to sin first.
Okay.
So you get them to go against their laws. You bring in the Chinese is going to give them dogs and cats and donkeys.
Right.
Right? You bring the Chinese in their space, they're going to keep them filthy. And their God does not like filth. So that will keep them at bay so that you can continue to wage your economic war against them.
God.
And the next thing you do, you mix them with other nations and you tell them out of many one people, because their God say they should be separate unto him. So you mix them with everybody. This was designed by Rome.
Right.
This never would come out just, it's not by chance that this happened. It was designed against us. Because this economic war cannot hold against us unless we are sinning against God. So even while we are sinning against God and these idiots are pushing this war against us, you are still at fault. Because our punishment is at an end.
Right.
Ease up the pressure. Right? Why? You're just afraid to see some rich black men. Maybe that would be the best thing for you, because when black people have money, the whole place nice. Full time now, we're supposed to realize that.
God.
Right? Yeah, the synopsis.
Answer. I just following the topic of the class about the economic pressures. That are on our people that cause them to go into criminal activities. One interesting thing I found happened the other day with the cops that they said that they found in gang activities, leading up gangs and so forth. There is an article in the Observer, March 30, 2022, that caused a stir, where it says Corporal Ron James, while making it clear that he is not on the side of criminal cops, Jamaica Police Federation Chairman Corporal Ron James is insisting that the government has made its employees susceptible to illegal activities because of the less than livable wage paid by the state.
So they are complaining about the less than livable wage. So that means Corporal Ron what? James supposed to know then, if your co-workers cannot survive on that less than livable wage, imagine the man on the street who is getting none. So Mr. Ron Campbell, you see why crime is in the country. Ron James. But you know, me not really knock, you know why me not knock Indicom chairman, right?
I say chairman.
Police Federation.
Chairman.
Police Federation. Oh, that is their thing there. Police Federation is their what's the word again? Union. That's their union. Oh, I thought it was the Indicom. I don't really knock Indicom because it's Indicom why you can be on the road 12, 11, 12, midnight and you see a police and is really a cop or not a criminal just like a cop, really? Is a cop pulling you over and you don't feel so insecure.
God.
because of the Indicom. Because there was no one police in the police, not even the government, until Indicom came along. But when I praise nothing, because all I know the evil, you know, 8 police is 8 police in Clarendon arrested for crime for being gang members.
Yeah.
You know, that's why they when they saw us over place, they it's right in that time, you know.
Yeah.
You know, Officer Clarendon. It was right in that time, but we never know.
So lucky. I wonder for them same police there.
No, these police was wondering if maybe we were aligned with one of those police.
Good.
So they were trying to do their checks, but when they come and then look and I remember when the inspector that Sunday the Hebrew Academy itinerary printed, and the 8 of them or more, and they draw down and thing. Luckily, they printed out because he came now and he took it up and he look at him say, he realized an official thing we are dealing with. I know we out there just trying to be criminals. Right. They look him telling you what you must do and so on. All participants, you are required to have your training knife and your training gun. That is why they may start pressure you for the thing there now. The prop gun.
Gun.
He read it and realized that we are required to have it.
Okay,
so
good.
Maybe seem beckon to them and say, leave him. Right? That was, so it was a good thing I had it printed where he was able to, even though if you see it, but I saw the most I work it. And before they left, they were right there on our side. But little did we know that you had 8 cops under investigation for being members of criminal gangs. We never know that. Four. But the 8 of them may say arrest. So maybe a 4 charge. Because the ones that would make it to the news are the ones who get charged. They can't really publish your name or anything unless you are charged. They can say it's alleged that it, but when they name some, those are the ones who actually get charged. All right. We want to make it a wrap up here now. Our time is winding up on us. Read the next verse and we finish with Judith.
Canada one can. Verse 21.
Right.
Canada one can. But if there be no iniquity in their nation, let my Lord now pass by, lest their Lord defend them and their God be for them, and we become a reproach before all the world.
Lord of mercy, Mr. Government of Jamaica. Read that again for them. But because we are keeping the laws again, Mr. Government. Read it.
Canada one can. Verse 21. But if there be no iniquity in their nation, let my Lord now pass by, lest their Lord defend them, and their God be for them, and we become a reproach before all the world.
So, Mr. Government, when I tell you, said this is a Easter message, I think, and I'm straight biblical. Right. I'm not being mischievous. I'm telling you, right? Our punishment is at an end. You ease up the pressure because the Lord is now going to be for us, and you are going to become, you and your combolos. You understand the word combolos? Every Jamaican knows what combolo means. It simply means you and your associates. Right? You and your associates and your leagues is going to become a reproach before the world if you don't take heed, and that is scriptural. All right. Give me Ezekiel 37, 10 and 12.
Canada one can. Canada one can. This is the book of Ezekiel chapter 37 and verse 10. So I prophesied as he commanded me, and the breath came into them, and they lived and stood up upon their feet, an exceeding great army.
All right. They did what?
And they lived, Slakia, and stood up on their feet.
An exceeding great army. Verse 11.
Canada one can, verse 11. Then he said unto me, Son of man, these bones are the whole house of Israel.
These bones are who?
The whole house of Israel.
So when this rising begin, Mr. Government, is not only Jamaicans going to rise right under your foot, is the whole, the entire Americas. Right. Same people, them who you see America treating at the border like they are nobody. The same Asians that you out here turn back whenever they come to us for refuge. They are our brothers.
Right.
The same Cubans who on the sideline, they are our brothers. They are all those people are our Israelite brothers. They were, well, the Asians them were a southern kingdom. The Cubans are northern kingdom Israelites. They are going to rise.
Right.
The whole house of Israel continue.
Canada one can. Behold, they say, our bones are dried, and our hope is lost. We are cut off for our part.
That is what we are saying among ourselves. That why we are cast out. God. But you don't really look for we or anything. But the hope unto our people is that we are going to stand up on our feet and exceeding great army. Read Revelation 11 and 11.
Canada one can. Canada one can. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 11 and verse 11. And after 3 days and an half, the spirit of life from God entered into them.
The spirit of life from who?
The spirit of life from God.
Not from the Chinese.
Right.
The spirit of life that is going to raise us up is not from the Chinese, not from the French, not from the which other nation strong out here, the white man. It's not from you all. This spirit of life that's going to raise up is going to come from God. Yeah. Go on, continue.
Canada one can. From God enter into them, and they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them.
Great what?
Great fear.
Now that fear that is going to fall upon you heathens, that is the you becoming a reproach to the world.
Right.
But you can't prevent that. You can't stop the people from rising, you know. You can't stop Israel from rising.
Right.
But you can prevent yourself from having fear and can't sleep. Help them to rise. And with that, any questions?
Yeah, no questions, sir.
And with that, we pass the class to Priest and Officer Kayadon.
All right, clap it up. All right, these are the ISUPK security announcements. We are the ISUPK out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General YAHANNA. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or a sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. After 6 months, if a brother or a sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or a sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find this in the book of Numbers, chapter 18 and verse 21. And Malachi, chapter 3, verse 8 to 10. Means tenth in the Hebrew and is pronounced ma'aishara. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the Treasury Department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory, whatsoever amount you'd like to give. Upcoming Holy Convocation, that is the Passover, that is the 14th day of the first month, you know what I mean? That is on Friday, April the 15th, 2022, and this Passover is being kept at Cocoa Beach, Florida. So if you want to attend, just call the number in the description of the video for information on how to do so. You can find the Passover in the book of Exodus chapter 12, verse 1 to 51, Leviticus chapter 23, verse 4 to 5, 1 Corinthians 5, 7 to 8, and 2 Chronicles chapter 30 and 17. Reminding Akiam and Aquatiam to check on social media such as ISUPK.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for ISUPK events and material. If a brother wants to be a trooper in the school, then he needs to start wearing all black, which includes black boots, shirt, pants, headband, or scarf. You know what I mean? And remember, all black while watching the classes. You understand? And with that, you say I'm Madium, which means to stand. Wow. Sar upon your aquadam, which means turn and face the east. We're going to say the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew and then in English. Abanawa.
Abanawa.
Shabashamaya.
Shabashamaya.
Kwadash.
Kwadash.
Aya.
Aya.
Shamka.
Shamka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Malakwatka.
Malakwatka.
Taba'a.
Taba'a.
Ratizaka.
Ratizaka.
Aya.
Aya.
Aisha.
Aisha.
Baharataza.
Baharataza.
Kawa.
Kawa.
Aya.
Aya.
Washamaya.
Washamaya.
Natanlanawa.
Natanlanawa.
Lakam.
Lakam.
Kal.
Kal.
Yawam.
Yawam.
Wasalaklanawa.
Wasalaklanawa.
Kawabwat nawa.
Kawabwat nawa.
Kasalak nawa.
Kasalak nawa.
Kawabwat yanawa.
Kawabwat yanawa.
Wala'a.
Wala'a.
Tabaya anawa.
Tabaya nawa.
Banasayawan.
Banasayawan.
Abal.
Abal.
Awashainawa.
Awashainawa.
Mayan.
Mayan.
Right.
Right.
Kaya.
Kaya.
Laka.
Laka.
Amalakwat.
Amalakwat.
Wahala.
Wahala.
Waatapara.
Waatapara.
La Aiwalamyam.
La Aiwalamyam.
Amen.
Amen. In English, our Father which art in heaven.
Our Father which art in heaven.
Hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come.
Hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come.
Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven.
Thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven.
Give us this day our daily bread.
Give us this day our daily bread.
And forgive us our debts.
And forgive us our debts.
As we forgive our debtors.
As we forgive our debtors.
And lead us not into temptation.
And lead us not into temptation.
But deliver us from evil.
But deliver us from evil.
For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory.
For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory.
Forever so be it. Amen.
Forever so be it. Amen.
Prayer for the curses. Blessed are you, Yahweh.
Blessed are you, Yahweh.
King of heaven and earth and all things living.
King of heaven and earth and all things living.
Yahweh.
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 In the name of Yahweh Shai.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
Listen to us now.
Listen to us now.
Right now.
Right now.
Send evils and curses and punishment and destruction.
Send evils and curses and punishment and destruction.
To the heathen.
To the heathen.
To the heathens.
That speak against us thy prophets.
That speak against us thy prophets.
The teachers.
The teachers.
Teachers.
The princes.
The princes.
The priests.
The priests.
The Israelite brothers and the school.
The Israelite brothers and the school.
Send evils and curses and punishment and destruction.
Send evils and curses and punishment and destruction.
To the heathen.
To the heathen.
To the heathens.
And shake loose the treasure of the rich of Israel.
And shake loose the treasure of the rich of Israel.
That refuse to give to the school.
That refuse to give to the school.
Force their riches to enter into thy sanctuary.
Force their riches to enter into thy sanctuary.
Send evils and curses and punishment and destruction.
Send evils and curses and punishment and destruction.
To the Edomites.
To the Edomites.
And the nations.
And the nations.
And the nations.
And their drug dealers.
And their drug dealers.
and your drug dealers,
the court system,
the court system,
the court system,
the prison system,
the prison system,
prison system,
Planned Parenthood,
Planned Parenthood,
Planned Parenthood,
all the governments of our enemies,
all the governments of our enemies,
Amalek synagogues and armies,
Amalek synagogues and armies,
Amalek synagogues and armies,
Roman Catholic Church,
the Roman Catholic Church,
Roman Catholic Church,
the Pope,
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 Islam,
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 Christianity,
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 Egyptology,
Egyptology,
militia,
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 Ku Klux Klan,
Ku Klux Klan,
Aryan Nation,
Aryan Nation,
Aryan,
Skinheads,
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 Posse Comitazi,
Posse Comitazi,
Posse Comitazi,
the gay movement,
the gay movement,
gay movement,
the lesbian movement,
the lesbian movement,
the lesbian movement,
spies,
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 workers of witchcraft,
workers of witchcraft,
workers of witchcraft,
NASA space program,
NASA space program,
NASA space program,
Army,
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 Navy,
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 Air Force,
Air Force,
Air Force,
Marine,
Marines,
Marines,
Wall Street,
Wall Street,
Wall Street,
open up the internet and the airways,
open up the internet and the
open
airways,
up the internet and the airways,
the cable access channels,
the cable access
cable
channel,
access channel,
and the radio channels.
and the radio channels.
and the radio channel.
Convict the spirit of any of thy people,
Convict the spirit of any of thy people
Convict the spirit of the Israelite people
that seek to stop us
that seek to stop us
and bring swift destruction to all the heathen
and bring swift destruction to all the Edens
that stand in the way or try to stop us from broadcasting your words.
that stand in the way or try to stop us from broadcasting your words
Throughout the planet Earth,
through the planet Earth.
let loose all the plagues.
Let loose all the plagues.
Loose all the plagues.
Let 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 loose all the plagues.
Cause them to go to and fro.
Cause them to go to and fro
through the earth.
through the earth
And consume them.
and consume them.
Let the plague shake the house of the thief and the murderer.
Let the plagues shake the house of the thief and the murderer.
Let Yahweh, Michael, and Gabriel
Let Yahweh, Michael, and Gabriel
come down with the flying saucers
come down with the flying saucers
Come down with flying saucers
and punish all the heathens
and punish all the Edens
punish all the heathens
that come up against us
that come up against us
against us
as we speak thy word.
as we speak thy word.
speak thy word,
Cause it to be known by all
Cause it to be known by all
that it is the angels that have done it.
that it is the angels that has done it.
Cause it to be spread through the media,
Cause it to be spread through the media
throughout the whole world.
throughout the whole world.
throughout the whole world.
Cause them to shake at thy coming.
Cause them to shake at thy coming.
Cause them to shake at thy coming.
In the name of Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh.
In the name of the Lord.
Thank you always, so be it.
Thank you always, so be it.
Thank you always.
All right, this is the prayer for the power in the Hebrew. Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Hashem Yahweh.
Hashem Yahweh.
Wabakwasha.
Wabakosha.
Nafanla Nawa.
Nathaniel now.
Akak.
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 Larapa'a.
Larapa'a.
Kalmakala.
Kalmakala.
Wakalmadawa.
Wakalmadawa.
Akak.
Akak.
Lata'a.
Latahar.
Amatazarayam.
Amatazarayam.
Akak.
Akak.
La Aquaya.
Lahakweb.
Amathia.
Amathia.
Akak.
Akak.
Alrakawat.
Alakawa.
Atamala.
Atamala.
Lagarashan.
Lagarashan.
Bashamya Awashai.
Bashamya Awashai.
THAWADAH man.
THAWADAH. In English, Yahweh in the name of Yahweh.
Yahweh in the name of Yahweh.
Please give us the power.
Please give us the power.
Power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease.
Power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease.
Power to cleanse the lepers.
Power to cleanse the lepers.
The power to raise the dead.
The power to raise the dead.
The power against unclean spirits.
The power against unclean spirits.
To cast them out in the name of Yahweh.
To cast them out in the name of Yahweh.
Thank you, so be it.
Thank you, so be it. All right, the prayer for the blessing, give me a second. All right, this is the prayer for the blessing in the Hebrew. Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Basham Yahweh.
Basham Yahweh.
Baraklanawa.
Baraklanawa.
Wayasharala.
Wayasharala.
Waha. Bayataparia.
Bayataparia.
Barak.
Barak.
Rapa'a.
Rapa'a.
Magan.
Magan.
Hagan.
Hagan.
Commanding General YAHANNA.
Commanding General YAHANNA.
The generals.
The generals.
The captains.
The captains.
The officers.
The officers.
The troopers.
The troopers.
The young men and the sisters.
The young men and the sisters.
Basham Yahweh.
Basham Yahweh.
THAWADAH man.
THAWADAH man. What we just said in English. Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh, shall bless us and Israel and the school, bless, heal, shield, protect our loved ones in the name of Yahweh. Thank you, Sobi.
All right, sir. We're going to give one courtesy salute to the teacher, men of Israel. Imadium Shabbat. Imadium Barak. Yahweh Basham Yahweh Shai Barakatah. Yadamata, we're going to give one courtesy salute to the sister, men of Israel. Turn and face the sister, men of Israel. Imadium Shabbat. Imadium Barak. Yahweh Shamar Alatan Basham Yahweh Shai.
Yahweh Shamar Alatan Basham Yahweh Shai.
Yadamata. Class dismissed.
All right, our online viewers, remember to fill out the class attendance sheet. Pay your tithes, go to ISUPK.com, pay your tithes, go towards raising your nation. Also, Officer Kayara, I'm going to queue up the thing there. Remove this here. We're going to play the thing there.
Yes, sir. Remove the windows. Yeah, you hear me, sir? All right. Slakia, sir. You chip out for a couple of seconds a while ago. What you say?
I'm going to play it. You pick it up. I'm going to play the 53rd annual Passover.
Okay. So just remove our two window then.
Come on, take off the donkey.
All right. Go on.
I was saying I'm going to play it and then you close out from there. Your mic is mute and you're off the stream, so I'm not hearing you.
Oh, what may I say? You want me to just close out, then you play it and we just end the live?
All right, you have the annual Passover queue. You have it queued up?
No, no, I don't have it queued up, but we can get it quickly.
Well, I don't know. We know just play it and then you close up.
All right, yeah, man, do that.
I.S.U.P.K. 53rd Annual Lord Passover.
53rd Annual Lord's Passover is going to be held down here in Florida.
It's going down.
You're here tonight to get a chance to be righteous enough to be worthy of God coming to save.
53rd Annual.
Say we no cowards, we talk that business. We no cowards up in here.
Book your hotels now at the Honda Inn Express and Suites. The IHG Hotel, 301 Tucker Lane, Cocoa Beach, Florida, 32926.
It's a lot of men down. You dealing with the men of war. We at war. I sided with the Lord of Lords.
Transfer all your dishes, pots, and sports knives.
Like this is like an apartment and a hotel. You know what I mean? Yeah.
This here right here is about to be holy ground. This will be holy ground. All our beautiful, wonderful brothers and sisters from all over the world. You understand? We can boast that now. Brothers and sisters coming not only from every state, but from all over the world. I heard the numbers this year is ridiculous. We had to buy out the whole hotel.
Friday, April 15th at the Space Coast Convention Center.
You cannot debate. You just want the clout. We just want the grades. I'm just trying to get it.
This is going to be glorious.
Remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and also remember to pay your tithes. And with that, shalom.